The goal for now is just content creating, bro. Just talking to the camera. You know, mark my words. I'm gonna be one of the biggest in this country, guys. Trust me, man. Like without a doubt as well, bro. I just gotta keep that.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of
Bros and Cons.
Man,
let's
got
go.
A special guest with us today.
Yeah.
As you know, I'm already wearing the fit. Let's check it out. We got Hoodrich Hefner on the scene, bro.
On the scene, baby.
This is mad, bro. We're so glad to have this guy.
Big love for having me, boys. Much appreciated.
That's it. Hey, man. Thank you guys for all the likes, the comments, and the shares. Keep them coming. And if you guys want anyone else on the show, let us know, man. Just keep dropping the comments, and we can make it happen with you. Anyways, back to the show. What's on the agenda? Hoodrich Hefner. Hey, man.
Tell us what inspired you to come up with this multi-million-dollar brand.
I wish that was my dream, bro. I wish they're killing it now. But you know what? I remember when they first just started to come out, Hoodrich.
Yeah.
And bro, I swear, I'm not just saying it, but I was one of the first cunts in Australia to be wearing it, bro.
Yo.
And I was easily, without a doubt, bro, I was one of the first to be wearing it, bro. And now it's just everywhere,
How
bro.
long ago do you reckon that they... Because I only started wearing, I think, a couple years.
That's
last year?
It's been easily 6 years now.
Oh.
Easily, maybe more.
It's been around, yeah.
That's proper niche, bro.
2018, 2019 was the first time I started seeing it get it.
Yo.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
They're going off now,
Yeah,
bro.
killing it,
They're
yeah.
killing it now.
I'm a late bloomer because I just started wearing the stuff now.
This guy's a funny cunt. He wore the heel Hoodrich like me today.
You're funny, cunt.
Hey, to start off, actually, before we dive into the questions, just briefly introduce yourself. Like, what's your background? Where you from? Introduce yourself.
For those that don't know, my name is Caleb, more commonly known as Hoodrich Hefner. I'm from Western Sydney, Mount Druitt. First started off as a rapper. That's what I'm more commonly known as, but kind of started to take a bit of a turn to content creating or influencing, like people like to say. But I don't like to use the term influencer. I feel like it's cringe.
You know
bro.
what?
Yeah, I feel like
I agree with you.
Yeah, I feel like it's cringe. Like me personally, I just talk to a camera. Like I like talking.
Yeah.
I like talking and voicing my opinion. You know, people like it, people hate it, but it is what it is. I go to bed at night, and it happens, bro. You know.
And he's also for those who obviously he was saying that he's been in the rap industry and he's seen how the music was during you were around that time when we stared as well.
Yeah, same era.
100%. So when yous were popping off, going back and forth with everyone, I was just starting. I just fucking was being a blender.
How was it? Did you come to start making music? Was it always the thing growing up, or?
Nah, well, bro, I'm not gonna sit here and say I've always done music, but it was more so just I just jumped in it. I just took a risk. So I don't come from a music background, none of that. None of that. I just took a risk. I took a gamble and it paid off because without music, I probably wouldn't be the person I am now, and I definitely wouldn't have the platform I do now. So it paid off. Even though it was hard for me, music was hard, bro. Really hard, man. I don't think there's any other rapper or anyone in the country who got hated more than me.
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
We're pretty close. We weren't far.
Hey, we have to check the proper statistics on that, bro.
Someone needs to do a study on that, bro.
But bro, I was getting killed for years, bro. And it's only just now, 5 years, 6 years into it now, I'm only just starting to turn the tide now. People are coming around and that. People are fucking with what I'm doing now, but it was rough at the start, guys.
Good on your brother for soldiering on. I think perseverance is something that we need to admire, especially in the music industry. For those who don't know, we know because we were in the industry in Australia. Tough.
It's very tough. I've always said it and I know it now. Bro, out of 100%, there's only 5% that are doing well.
Yeah, right, but I always tell, sometimes I get asked from youngins, how do we become artists? How do we start off? I want to get into the music industry. I always tell them the same thing. Even if you have the best of all talents, 100%. You are not going to make it if you don't have the right network.
100%.
That's what I believe, especially in Australia compared to America and all the other countries.
100%.
In Australia,
And it's like music in Australia is also hard too because it's hard being a rapper in Australia because your own society and Australians don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yo.
They look at it, it's cringe.
I don't know why.
You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, I feel awkward, bro. Anytime someone introduces me as a rapper, he's a rapper, I go, bro, that's fucking cringe.
It's kind of shunned upon.
Yeah, bro, people look at it like, what the fuck is it rapper? It's what the fuck, we're in Australia. What do you mean a rapper? I've heard that so many times. It's difficult, bro. But like I said, if you're not in the top five, the top bracket of rappers, bro, no one's going to look at you. Because anytime an international artist comes over, they get the top rappers to open up for him. Everyone else gets left behind. It doesn't matter how good you are, how talented you are, and none of that, bro. And if you haven't got thick pockets, deep pockets to fund music, studio, any of that, bro, you ain't unfortunately not going to really go anywhere.
Please, bro, because a lot of viewers out there, especially a lot of family and friends, sometimes even though you have a lot of views on your rap songs or you got a lot of streams, I think the brother even he can attest to it. He don't necessarily make a lot of coin off the music game.
No one's making
zilch.
Bro, in Australia, no one is making money off it.
Nah, come on.
Bro.
Yeah.
No one, bro. And like, that's the issue with music in Australia. People
Yeah.
are trying to keep up with an image. So they look like they're making money.
Yeah,
So we're going to
so-
dress a certain way. We're going to act a certain way. But you don't have money. No one's making money. And bro, some of the rappers that are killing it in the scene today, bro, having a hustle. A lot of people are hustling, bro.
That's the true reality, bro.
100%.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the pros and cons within trying to join the music industry.
Hefner giving you the ropes, bro.
100%.
Go.
Hey, for your first question, so about your surrounding, growing up around Penrith and Mount Druitt areas, what were your surroundings like and what were the impact? So what were like just growing up in the area as a youngin', what were the things that you seen growing up? What were the bad things and the good things that you learnt about life growing up there?
So being a bloke from Mount Druitt, when I was growing up in Mount Druitt, I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't like it. But as a growing man looking back at it, it's my home. I love it. And it made me who I am today. But Mountie, heavy housing commission there, rough boys, it's rough around the edges, everywhere around there. Large Pacific Islander community, Koori community, Aboriginals, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
No.
You
Sure,
boys, you love your home where you're from, but we're no different.
No.
And I say this all the time, we're no different. You might, like, when I think of inner West Surrey, I think cars, fast cars,
flashy life,
stuff,
yo.
nice houses,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then wear dirt bikes and housing commission,
Real
paddies,
opposite.
real opposite, but the people are the same.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you're no different to the boys I know. You know what I mean? We're all the same like that, bro. That's the fact.
Yo.
Speaking of islanders around Penrith and Mount Druitt areas, so obviously you're a white kid, you're a white bloke in Penrith, and you had a influence on the islanders.
Yeah.
Or you were hanging around a lot of the islanders
Yeah,
back then,
yeah,
I heard. And what was it like growing up around Tongans and islanders in general?
So, like, where I'm from, Wilmot is nothing but Islanders and
True.
and Kooris, Indigenous, Aboriginals. So I grew up with Tongans my whole life, basically. My best mate was Tongan. Went to school with Tongans, Samoans, everyone. But I grew up around the Pacific Islanders my whole life because I didn't really, like, real talk, I didn't really have a good relationship with my parents and that. So I lived with my mate growing up. And he lived with me, it was back and forth. And his dad was a pastor at a church. And so I went to church there my whole life and I was raised with them. But as it stands, a lot of boys today, they go to church, but they have a different life as well outside it. So we were engaging in crime and being a part of gangs and stuff like that. But around the time, the Pacific Islander gangs when I was younger were heavy duty, bro.
Yo.
They weren't to be fucked with around there.
And a few worthy to mention, there was gang was around that time as well.
Gangrey was around, but prior to Gangrey was around. You had full-blooded Islanders,
FBI.
you had soldiers in red, you had NFP. There was a lot. You even had FTA. They were from Penrith, full-time Adelaides. They were dangerous boys too. Even the graffiti crews too. Islanders used to love the graffiti back then. I know a bunch of Islanders.
You know what? There's a lot of artwork around.
So tagging was the thing back
Bro,
then.
there were Islander tagging crews, bro. There were Pacific Islander tag crews. They used to go down train stations and fight people and that. It was full on back then, man. Yeah.
So tell us a bit about, obviously, you just mentioned that you grew up with Islanders. Man, that's crazy. I know a lot of our viewers probably, they didn't know that. Tell us more about how you grew up. And you mentioned that you're not really close with your immediate family. How was that growing up with...
It was the best. I look back at it, it taught me a lot. And it kept me in a bit of a pocket too. So anytime I was at parties and that too, it'd always be dominated by Islanders. But I was kind of lucky like that because I was, but some boys used to go to parties and just get pumped in a way, like... Yeah. And I was pretty blessed like that to know a lot of Islanders growing up, which was good, but it was always good.
Was there any just any what's your hardest challenge you ever had to go through, like growing up in Penrith alone? Or just growing up around your surroundings
In general,
was there a hard thing that you had to overcome?
I think just life in general growing up out there, not having as much opportunity as someone who would have money behind them.
Definitely,
Or parents with money, family with money. It's very different, and I used to get quite upset at that growing up. I used to look at people like kids on TV or movies and you'd be like, why has their family got that? It's not until you get older you start to understand that that's not how life works. You dealt what you can't.
Money's not everything.
That too. Money's definitely not everything, but it helps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It helps.
You make do with what you can, whatever
100%.
cards you dealt with.
100%. Money isn't all in life, but it definitely helps.
helps
to what you
definitely
want. It
helps.
helps to what you want.
Definitely helps, bro. 100%.
But when you buy everything in the world, or when you can afford everything in the world, then what? That's where your heart. That's where it's better to have a heart. And better to be a good person.
That's gonna have to be a real one.
Oh,
We're gonna have to go slow mo on that.
Just because we do some research, man. That's mad.
We've already pretty much outlined your background growing up. All right, let's fast forward a bit to when you're in prison. So speaking of prison, what was your experience like in prison? I think a lot of especially the ones that are following Bros and Cons, everyone likes to hear a bit about the jail yarns. So what was your prison experience like?
Oh, it's fucking shit. Shit, bro. Like
That's what I want to hear, bro.
Like, bro, don't get me wrong. It was up and down. It was up and down. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was the worst. It was like, bro, it was horror, because it wasn't. Because we actually. Australian prisons are actually quite easy in comparison to overseas prisons.
Yeah, true.
Bro, I've seen that a lot, bro. I've seen that a lot.
Our accommodation is second to none. Like, we get looked after, you know? The only factor you have to take away from it is how dangerous it can become. It's not at any given time it's dangerous. Any given time you can literally feel it in the air when something's about to kick off. Like no one needs to say nothing. And it can just happen. But
That's
as for like my experience, bro, it was a bit of a struggle, you know. It was a bit of a struggle. Just more so like, I kind of knew the second I got in there that I didn't want to be in there no more. But unfortunately, I still had a bit to go.
Oh, bro.
That's
mad that you see it that way. For those who don't know, I actually, apart from a couple of nights overnight waiting to get out on bail, I never actually spent time in Big Boys. I done a bit of laggings here and there. Spent my childhood in juvenile, but I was lucky. After I was 18, I kind of got my head screwed on and. I was dealt with some better cards, made some good decisions as well. So, because I want to know as well, how was your experience when you walk into the yard? Do the Islanders hang with the Islanders? Is that true? Everyone has their own.
That's only true to a certain degree. It's only when it kicks off.
Okay.
It's only when it kicks off, or like. What's the term? Like, if you're gonna take your own garbage, it has to be your own skin color, it has to be your own nationality. So, if for an example, say if Aussies are in there, well, Aussies don't stick together. That's a known fact within jail. But say Islanders, right? Say if you use your Islanders and an Islander comes in, and let's just say he's a snitch. Yeah. And the wing finds out about it. No other nationality has rights to do anything to him. Yeah. It has to be Pacific Islanders.
So the Islanders would have to take care of him.
You just have to take care of him.
Wow.
And if I was to jump the gun and took care of him myself, then it's like...
confrontation.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. That's the way it works as far as I know anyway.
I actually forgot. That was actually a thing in jail. I can't believe I forgot. Yeah.
Wow.
That was an actual thing. So
there is kind of like a hierarchy system similar to the American jails. Not exact to the T, but... There is that kind of, hierarchy code that everyone has to follow by that no one really talks about.
100%. It's like, it's quite difficult at times because like I've heard of stories of like certain like nashos like playing up and then the nashos won't take him out and it just causes a divide between boys in the wing and it just eventually kicks off.
Yo.
So but like it's not like you walk into a wing and Islanders sitting in the corner here and the Koreans are here. Nah, it's not like that. Everyone gets along until shit kicks off and then it becomes quite dangerous. But Silverwater, so when I went into Silverwater, it didn't really faze me. But like looking around, it didn't really faze me. Like it didn't intimidate me.
That's the Remand, is that?
Yeah, Remand, yeah. So when I went there, I was like, all right, I can do this. And then I got put on the truck and got taken to Bathurst. Oh. And that was a different story.
I heard about Bathurst. It's pretty rough over there, eh?
And I remember just looking out the window of the truck and just seeing the barbed wire and the Aboriginal paintings and seeing nothing but Aboriginals walk past. Yeah.
Everything,
and the cameras weren't even facing the yard. They were like facing the wall, bro. And I was like, bro, what the fuck is going on here, bro? But shit experience, man.
And do I guess one thing that I personally really wanted to know, do area codes exist inside prison?
To be honest, bro, I've never really had any involvement in area code drama. I've never really, I've seen beyond it. I never really, because I never understood fighting for an area or going to war for an area that doesn't even love you, that doesn't pay you. Like I don't own Mount Druitt, bro. Yo. You don't own fucking Inner West. Why are we bashing each other? That's the way I looked at it. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
In jail, it's more so boys that are coming in from the outside in bringing dramas, you know, and they just fight each other. But I can't tell you that, I wouldn't have a clue when it comes to area codes. I've never heard of it.
To be fair,
if it was about area codes, Then, bro, when I was in there, the first people that greeted me when I got in the baths was actually Dion and Jimmy Fanua.
Oh,
is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
So
There you go. Shout out Jimmy and Dion.
Yeah,
wow.
bro. Yeah, so
Awesome.
so like area codes didn't really fucking exist, bro.
You know what? To be honest, I heard a little bit about that, but I didn't know exactly to the T because I never asked that question to someone that actually had a stint inside. I didn't even ask you guys, to be honest, because apparently, from what I've heard, when it goes in there are other older boys that are doing like long time in there, and they're like, nah, that shit doesn't. Nah,
it doesn't ride in there.
Yeah, it doesn't ride around.
Nah, not really.
Well, in my experience, I remember when I was in, a lot of the older boys were trying to kick all that shit back, you know. They were trying to get everyone together. So, say if I was like a young islander coming in, and you know, I meet up with a bunch of islander boys in the pod. They ask me where I'm from, this and that. They would actually like try and like say, you know, it doesn't matter what the area code is, you know, we all stick together, we're all islanders here, we're all brothers, blah blah blah. That's how it was, bro. 100%. When I went to jail, bro, and I was like, fuck, are you serious?
Yeah, it's usually how it is, bro. Like whatever happens on the street doesn't go into there. It's like you stick with your own in a sense, you know? But yeah.
So you're actually right about that hierarchy thing. So
and if you, I guess if you're someone that you go in and you keep your head down and you like, there's nothing to be worried about. Like, do you ever feel like when you walk into a new yard, you kind of feel like that tension, like?
Yeah, well, they do it on purpose. Yeah, 100%. They do it on purpose though. Like, they will take you into the yard at a certain time. Like for me, it was smack bang in the middle of the day. When everyone's
at their fullest energy.
Everyone's training in the yard. And they put you in the fish tank, which is the metal holding cell before you get into the yard. So if anyone's been to Silverwater, I call it the fish tank. It's not. And it's like a box, a metal box, and you sit inside, and they come up to the gate and ask where you're from, if you got anything, shit like that. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah,
21 questions, bro.
Yeah, like us. Yeah, and you know it's quite intimidating sitting in there while the whole yard's.
Everyone is walking around with their mates and that.
And it's hard because you don't know if someone sees you, spots you, if he doesn't like you or not, if he knows you from the outside or something. So you don't know.
Usually when you do go to a random pod and someone knows you, they will sing out to you.
Yeah, they'll sing out.
Like, oi, you know, Hefner, or
yo,
oi, Ronnie.
yo.
Is that you?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
And usually when someone's singing out to me, bro, there's someone I already know in the yard. But
100%.
Anyways, speaking of jail and violence, what was the most craziest thing that you've seen in jail? Like, did you like see something like real mad violent or?
Bro, I didn't see, like, shade out, I didn't see any, like, much that was violent. I seen people get, like, their heads stomped on and that, but I never seen any stabbings or nothing like that, you know. A lot of boys seem to come out with mad stories. They say this, seen that. It's like, bro, I don't know. Maybe I just, you know, thankfully I didn't, because I don't, like, bro, it's ugly scenes. It's an ugly scene, bro. When
it's already ugly enough just seeing the nature of jail, bro. Imagine seeing someone get stabbed.
Stabbed
ugly,
or like,
bro.
It's just, I don't know. It's a different feeling to it, bro. When you're hearing two men like fight each other in a cell, and you're just hearing FUD, and no one's doing nothing about it. You know, you're just hearing FUDs and screams and like grown men screaming, bro. It's like it's a different feeling, you know. So I'm kind of glad I didn't see.
You know what?
Shit.
That is an interesting perspective.
Yeah, because like I've you know been in the wings when fights have kicked off, and you know seen people get like really fucking dealt with, heard it in the cell and that, but I've never seen anyone get stabbed and that. You know, it's like it's a dog-eat-dog world in jail, bro. It's a lion's den, you know, devil's playground. That's what they call it. It's like it's not for people who are half-hearted. And I think that was the biggest indication for me. When I went in there. I'm real as fuck now, bro. I don't care because I've copped so many L's, bro. I throw it on my back now. And I'm real transparent with it now, bro. I've copped more L's than wins, and I love it. I don't care, bro. And when I went in there, like within the first week, bro, I realized this is not for me. I gotta stop with whatever the fuck I'm doing, bro. Whatever mask I got on, whatever person I think I am, because I'm not. Because there's people in there that take it seriously. There's people in there that take violence seriously, bro. And really have a hunger for hurting people. And like everyone's a gangster. Everyone's crazy. Everyone's the best fighter until they're put in front of until they're put in front of someone that really can fight. That really can gangster on. You know, that's the way I look at it, bro.
Bro. Big ups to you, man.
Big ups to you, brother. Big respect, bro. I spoke a little bit on that as well on TikTok as well. I replied on a comment. Someone was like, I don't know. Someone was talking about doing
the most time in jail.
making fun of the brothers because they're trying to give out advice because they've only done 2 years and like they're acting like, brother. I don't think someone that has done 1 week, like he was saying, it only took him how many days to know that it wasn't for him. Someone that's only done a couple of days will know enough to tell you this is rubbish.
100%, bro. Rubbish. One day's bro. At the end of the day, you're in jail. You dumb fuck. Bro.
Yeah,
like, bro,
exactly.
why is it a flex?
Yeah, I know.
This is like we gotta change the change the perspective on jail. People think it's a badge of honor to go to jail.
Nah,
and like I
bro.
was that stupid kid who thought, I've been in jail now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get respect off people.
No, I hate bringing up to people that I've been to jail, bro. As much as I hate to bring it up, but I actually hate saying that, you know, I've been to jail before, but fuck, if someone asks me, then I'll give it my straight answer. But I'm not going to go out there and say, oi lad, I've been to jail, blah, blah, blah.
100%.
It's ugly, bro. It's an ugly badge to have.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. As you get older, you understand that, you know, but like, it's hard to explain to young kids because
that are still going through the rough of it because we've been there.
100%. Like I remember, you remember when we were kids and you know the preacher would come past and go, "Come on, boys, you gotta come to church.
It's time, yo,
boys, you know, come to church. Stop doing what you're doing." You go, whatever. Blah,
yeah, that's true.
It's the same as us, bro. And I like anytime an older boy used to try to give us the talk, I used to look at him like he was a clown. Like, come on, get away
this spinner. Yeah, that's true.
And now we're in that position. It's like, bro,
what a spinner.
Yeah, you know, like 100%. But like, it's just, everyone's gonna walk the walk. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is. What I'm like, I'm really glad that we're talking about this because obviously for some people it comes too late. For them to change.
100%.
And I feel like even though like we are coming with a better mindset that will be perceived as an older mindset, but we're still young.
100%.
And I guess the narrative I'm trying to change is I want people to be able to find that change faster because I know everyone's going to have to find their way eventually on their own. I just want them to find it quicker because the quicker you guys find it, that's one less person in the system.
Exactly right. Right. Yeah, exactly right. 100%, bro. 100%. 100%.
I'd say one of the first steps to taking that would be probably try and change your surroundings. I always tell like my mates this as well. Like even if it has to do with like health and fitness, you know, I always tell them the same thing. If you're struggling to lose weight, some of the main reasons because of the people you're hanging around with.
Everyone's eating pizza around here, that's true.
Everyone's eating pizza, everyone's eating brownies. What option do you have if 5 people there are eating brownies every night? You're going to be the next person to eat brownie. Well, doesn't matter if you're doing 100 burpees.
You're a product of your environment. At the end of the day, you are who you hang around. And that was the biggest indication for me too, what made me leave. Because I've lived in Mountie for what? Well, I used to live in Mountie for 20 plus years. So my family first moved to Mount Jewel in the late 90s. So like, bro, we're residents around there. And my family is still there. But I've moved. I haven't lived in Mountie for the last 6 years or so. And when I was living in Mountie compared to the person I'm now, I was doing all sorts of shit when I was in Mountie. Hanging out with the wrong people, getting involved in some heavy duty dramas too, you know. And then the person I am now, away from that area, not hanging around with people like that no more, 10 times different, bro. You know, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, none of that. Yeah, none of that.
Come on, brother.
I don't do none of that no more. And that's no, like, I'm not putting anyone down that does that. But sometimes, bro, like, you need to go. You need to go, bro.
I agree.
Otherwise, like, a lot of the boys in the area, and I'm sure it's the same for you too, like, they make the area their whole identity. You know, like it's all about areas, bro. I want to defend my area, fight for my area. I want to be a gangster, bro. If you want to go and do that, but bro, at least study at the same time, cuz. At least, you know, doing the.
Bro, look at this guy, the magician, bro.
This is the shit I wish I did, bro. Bro, for the whole time I was trying to be a rapper, bro, and fucking wasting time fighting areas or fighting boys or joining gangs. When the whole time I could have been an apprentice. I could own my business by now. I could own this by now. I could own this, and you know, these are things I learned along the way, bro. And that's why I try to tell these boys it's okay to be a fucking gangster. Do what you got to do, but bro,
handle your bills, bro.
Learn something on the side, bro. Don't wait until it's too late.
You got to set up a background
because, bro, the world's cruel to broke men. Broke men. The world doesn't like broke men. You can be a good-looking woman and be broke, and some rich man's gonna pick you up. But you can't be an ugly broke man because no one's gonna want you.
No sir.
And that's the sad truth. That's the sad truth, bro. And
100%.
Bro, like I'm even spinning myself out saying
bro,
that shit.
That's crazy. Wow.
You're just spinning crazy facts right now, bro.
It's unreal, bro.
You know what? There's a mad quote on that that I heard, and this is probably one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard. Don't spend your life chasing butterflies. Build a beautiful garden, and it will attract the butterflies. And if it doesn't, doesn't matter because you have a beautiful garden.
100%.
So that just attests to like the background foundation, and I think as a man, like women and children rely on us to have that mindset already that we have to provide regardless. Yes, okay, you want to be a gangster and fight, but you got to have your home set up. You have to.
100%.
You have to. Only a flog wouldn't. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, a lot of people fucking got their priorities back to front, but I was that person too. We
Yo,
all were.
same.
We all were, man. We all were.
Hey, man. There's this video I've seen of you on one of your Instagram reels that popped off really well, and I thought you had a pretty good statement there. It was something about Aussies that didn't have other Aussies back. You know, if it came up to a fight, you know, just elaborate for us on that. Like, what were you thinking when you were saying that? Like, what's it like, or even your experience in prison? What was it like seeing the Aussies in their race in prison? Were they like backing each other? Yeah, were they hanging around each other?
Well, it's known with inside and outside that Aussies don't back each other. Aussies don't back each other. Not the way Islanders back each other. Not the way the Lebos back each other. You know, so forth. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but 10, 15 years ago, Aussies were strongholds. Aussies backed each other. Anyone who done time 15, 20 years ago when we were babies, basically, will tell you Aussies backed each other. I don't know what's happened along the way, but they don't anymore. And that's another reason why I hung out with the Islanders growing up, because anytime I ever had an altercation or drama with someone, it was a black-coloured skin Islander backing me up. It was an Islander backing me up. It was never my own kind. My own kind always used to leave me with it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's why I've always had this perspective on Aussies. And I didn't just grow this perspective. I didn't just have this yesterday. I've had this for 10 years of my life. I've known this information. All throughout high school. Wow. It's just, I don't know, bro. They just, and I always said, like, if an Aussie was walking down the street and seeing 4 Islanders jumping an Aussie, he wouldn't cross the road.
Yeah, no.
But if an Islander was getting jumped across the street by 4 white blokes, and an Islander was walking past, he's running across. Because that's your culture, that's your colour, that's your skin. You know, Aussies don't have that, cuz.
They don't have that culture.
They don't have that. And, you know, people hate on it, but I'm a man of facts, cuz. I speak it how it is.
Yeah, and call a spade a spade.
100%, yeah, exactly right. And you know, that's the way it is.
But you're definitely right, because I remember seeing that most of the Aussies didn't really hang around a lot, you know, from all the yards that I was going through. But in my experience as well, to elaborate on that, I think that's why I found in my experience in jail, like some of the Aussies I met there were really hard, you know, solid people.
Like lone wolves.
100%.
Very, you know,
they run up very individual, and I remember growing up, I had this Palangi friend that I used to always go over his house.
I remember him, yeah.
Won't drop his name just for the safety of it. But anyways, I used to always go over his house after school because, man, his family used to cook dinners on dinners, bro. I didn't want to go home to noodles and tuna. I used to always ask my mum, let me go over my mate's house. But when I went over, I realised in the community, bro, divorce is so common. Like it's that's the stepdad. Oh yeah, that's the stepmom. It's such a big thing in our Islander community. If someone divorced, it doesn't make sense to us. It does happen. It does happen, but it's just very rare. And I feel like what I experienced and seen for myself, like divorces happen almost like on a daily rate in the Palangi community.
100%. Yeah, it's normal. And I feel like that's why a lot of boys join gangs. Like join gangs, you know, like that's why a lot of boys do that.
Factor,
and that's just to elaborate on the Pacific Islander gangs and the Islander boys joining gangs and drill groups and postcodes. You know why, bro? Because, bro, I feel like I could speak on it a bit because I grew up with them.
Of course.
Bro, I used to see my best mate get pumped, guys, by his dad and mum, pumped.
Oh,
bro, hidings, bro, and you could never hit your parents because they're your parents. You love your parents, of course. So it's like all this anger and pain inside because he was late to church for 2 minutes, or because he didn't do the dishes,
or because
he
very common
and he gets fucking pumped with a vacuum cord or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, he definitely grew up around Islanders.
Right, you know what I mean? He gets pumped because he was 2 minutes late to church, and his anger builds inside these people.
It bottles
these
up,
Islanders, and then they go on the streets and they form groups together because they get the love they don't get at home. They get pumped at home, so they hang out with boys on the streets and they go fucking pump other boys.
Yeah, they grow their masculinity outside. Wow, 100%. That's so true.
That's the whack, bro. Like that's the way it is.
Bro, that's
Yeah,
so
bro,
true.
crazy,
I
man.
never thought of it like that.
Yeah, because so much pain's built inside these boys, bro. They get hidings upon hidings.
And when you're raising young men, I guess that kind of takes away their confidence. Because if you want your son to grow up confident, but then you won't let him like reason. Not even, I'm not saying talking back, but you won't even let him reason, because sometimes Islander parents can be like, they don't even want you to know like nothing. They don't want you to even fix your face. Like don't even do that face. Like they don't want to hear nothing from you.
100%.
You want to go. You want to raise a son that is confident. You need him to be able to reason with himself and like. You know what I mean? Because then if he can't say anything, then he's going out to society knowing that, oh, you know what, I've been taught that I just got to stay humble and I just got to stay in my lane. I just got to, and I guess it kind of shuns us down to this little thing where we can't grow out of this potential that we're supposed to be.
It's so true, bro.
You know?
It's so true, isn't it? Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad we started this podcast, man. We're just trying to outreach these people, because there's a lot of these cunts out there that are going for it.
100%.
I would say that. Would you say that the statistics show that around the Mount Druitt and Penrith areas that the divorce and the violence is so high, to why these youngins are trying to look for a sense of belonging in these groups, in these gangs, you know,
100%.
to feel love, to feel that protection, feel that safety. You know?
Agreed, bro. There's no love at home for these boys, so they're on the street looking for love. And they're looking for what they lack at home. And sometimes, bro, the biggest issue is dad's not being in the picture. But bro, I could go on for days about it, but it's the way the government has aligned it. The government wants it to be that way. They want the house. They don't want the house.
Hey, lock the door, because we're talking about the government.
Bro, they want the dad out of the house. They want the dad out of the home. They want the mum to be going to work. So the kids are raised by the education system. They're raised by the school. They're raised by the teachers, bro. So they're not raised by parent values, dad's values. And that's what they do, bro.
You've actually got a strong point, because in my experience in the past, what I've seen for the New South Wales system, you know, to do with jail and AVOs and that, bro, they actually favoritise the wife or the girls, the females, in whatever case it is.
100%.
The females that are held on a
100%.
top pedestal, so they mostly always get away with everything, and this is what causes men's mental health. To really, you know, just like, but I've seen so many guys.
100%.
And I've even heard of guys like passing away in jail and they're nicking themselves, bro.
Wow.
I was actually in Lithgow when an incident happened. This guy actually ended up nicking himself because I heard it was from like some girl.
It's upsetting.
Bro,
a lot of boys are facing it.
It's just so upsetting how no one really looks into, you know, what the men's mental health is going through. But I think that's one thing we need to try and outline, you know, especially in this podcast. No one really talks about it.
It's good that you started this podcast because, like, at the end of the day, people listen to music and they listen to a message, but people listen to podcasts and listen to a message too. You know what I mean? So if you can do your best moving forward, as well as myself and my own platform, as long as we all can move forward and spread a positive message. And if it hurts, it hurts. But sometimes, you know, it needs to grow, and it's good that what you're doing, bro.
And I guess having these like hard yarns, it's important. I didn't know how important it was. I was just telling the brother before we started that I was tripping out on like how much traction my podcast went over a normal yarn. And what I was speaking to the brother was about like we agreed that people like us that have been through the rough and we've learned our lessons, these are normal yarns to us. But then obviously we didn't understand like how it is for you young fellas out there, or basically even anyone that they need to just hear these type of conversations that never they don't talk about this stuff at the drink ups. They don't talk about this real talk, you know. And I think it's important we have laughs. We have stories, but then we also round up and we remind each other what's real.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, but you know why it gained traction too is because people relate to it and people know what you're saying. You know, they know what you're saying. That's why a lot of people watch it and like. And bro, I'll tell you right now, a lot of boys are covered with pride and ego. They've got a blanket of pride and ego. And bro, straight out, boys from my area probably watch that and agree with you, but they're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like it. Like same as some of the stuff I post. Like boys that don't like me agree with my message, but because it's me, they're not liking it. That's the way it works. But they know what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We all relate like that, bro. And it's the fucking worst
Do
sometimes.
you know what's crazy about that? The business. So I dropped a little bit of business game on my life as an entrepreneur in my last. And man, I saw a lot of my own people were just making jokes in the comments. Brother, you know why you're making jokes and I'm making money? Because you're in the comment section.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you know what? You guys will laugh at you guys will laugh at me, and then you guys will go and like and share someone that doesn't even know you.
100%.
So like Bill Gates or some gazillionaire, and he's probably saying the same thing that I said. And I'm here telling you that I am you. You know, I was you. I know how everything works. I know how it feels when your car rego is coming up and you're stressing out about bills. I was there.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why the only reason why I'm dropping game is not to flex on anyone. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help wherever I can.
You know what it is? It's easier to point the finger because it justifies the risk they won't take. Do you know what I mean? It's easy to laugh at him. Oh, look at him, what a dickhead.
Yeah.
You know, he's filming himself, talking to himself, trying to make a way for himself. Oh, I don't need to do that. It saves them the embarrassment. At the end of the day, you have to embarrass yourself a million times before you become successful at whatever
100%.
You know what
I
mean?
believe that. I believe that 100%.
You got to look like a foolish beginner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With all that you do in life, no one starts hectic. No one starts great.
No.
But the ones that are on the sidelines, everyone's got a position to play, and that's their position.
Yeah.
They don't want to be in the field. They don't want to be in the arena. You know,
that's
crazy. The way it is. Yeah, I got thick skin. I've dealt with a lot of it, bro.
Yeah, and I bet, 100%. You would know exactly what I'm talking about,
100%, bro. It would be your own people.
Yeah, be your own people, bro.
Be your own people, and you know, for me, it's usually with people I grew up with.
Yeah,
you know, that I starve with, that I live with at times. You know,
the most evil intentions come from in-house, bro.
100%, bro.
Hey, speaking of that, I remember you made it also an Instagram reel on fake friends. You know, being snakes. Yeah. Like, elaborate on that. Yeah. What made you like, bro? I was actually shocked that you came up with something like.
Obviously, there's some experience behind there. Yeah.
So obviously, you had to have some kind of experience back there. So.
Yeah. So friends are awkward, bro. Having friends, like I don't like to say I have friends anymore. Like I like to say I like associates.
Yeah.
Because you have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
If you want to be a friend, there's snakes everywhere in all levels of the field.
Yeah.
You just don't know who black, white, or blue, bro.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's like. You don't really know where you stand with someone until you have a fallout. Until you have an argument with someone, you really don't know their intentions.
Yeah.
And when you start bringing product to the table, when you start bringing it out and you bring it back, that's when they go, well, fuck, you're not needed no more. Then.
Yeah.
And that was the case with me many times, bro. When I stopped bringing to the table, I said, I don't want to do that no more. Well, you're not my mate no more. Get out of here. You know what I mean? That's what I've learned along the way. So I look at mates weird now, very odd, bro. At the end of the day, bro, all you need is your family and your missus, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care, all right? As you get older, you realise that, bro, having a fucking solid missus, bro, having a cooked meal every night, bro.
Everything, bro.
Clothes washed, the little basic things is so much more better than hanging around with a bunch of fucking idiots, bro. Like, straight out.
Yeah. Brother,
no offense to me mates watching this.
Some of the boys are watching this call, like.
Some of the boys watching this, I'm sorry, cuz, but it's a certain few. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
You know what, to add on to that, but I'll tell you now, I agree 100% with you. Your missus is the truest homie you have on your team.
100%,
Trust me, your missus will be there 100-fold more than the boys will. And I've seen this with my own eyes. That my missus, lucky for me, I've got a very good girl, and she picked me up a lot of times when I was at my lowest, you know.
100%.
And just having a good girl behind you, it can
change the whole world.
Make or break you.
100%.
It can make or break you, bro.
Like, behind every successful man's a better woman, bro. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Bro, every millionaire, billionaire in the world's got a missus.
You know what I mean? Like, there you go. If you want to be gangster and not have a missus, there you go. Look at the millionaires. Look at everyone there.
100%.
And I think that it's so. I guess it's hard now because would you say girls in this generation are kind of different now? it's kind of harder to find a proper missus now. You reckon?
I get it. I get it why it's hard, because society is changing like really fast.
Oh, crazy.
Would you say it's because of social media? Maybe there's a lot of pressure out there, you know, with expectations.
Well, it goes back to the conversation we just had earlier about taking the man out of the home. Women are currently playing man roles.
Yeah.
Raising kids by themselves.
Bringing the bread home by themselves.
So now they're playing father and mum. You know, so they're becoming men. Like, straight the fuck out.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Women are becoming men now.
Yeah.
Women are raising kids by themselves now because the man's out at home. The man's got an AVO. The man's got an AVO because he told the missus to shut up, and the coppers come there, arrested him, and took him to jail. So he's not allowed to see the kids for 2 years now because he said shut up to his missus. Do you know what I mean?
Very common.
And it's very common. It happens because the police give out AVOs now just for shouting. Just for shouting. You yell at someone, you get an AVO. Trust me, bro. I've been in the mix with it all. You know what I mean? I know how it works. It's putrid the way it works. Some shit you don't even do. They throw you away.
Oh, they milk it.
Yeah, they milk it bad.
Bro.
They milk it bad. But yeah, 100%. Women are now becoming men. They act like men. They talk like men. They even dress like men, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And what's your advice to these women that want to act like men? If they
You're gonna make us get hated by a lot of women in the comments,
you don't have to answer. You can just say no comment.
Like at the end of the day, I got a missus, bro, and like one day, like, you know, maybe I'll have a daughter. So you got to respect women to a certain degree, you know. There was when I was young, I didn't respect women. I didn't care. I didn't look at them like equals. At the end of the day, but they play a major role in the world. You know, we wouldn't be here without them.
No.
But there's just Western Sydney women. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I'm the same, bro.
I'm not being real. I'm just being straight, bro.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's interesting times.
I think if you got a good girl, girls they rely on our loyalty. So that's all they rely on our loyalty. We rely on their patience for them to wait for us to become who we want to be.
Yes, 100%.
And we because we want to become that Prince Charming that they've always dreamt of as a little girl. But we just want them to be patient. Now, when you're on the piss every day bringing your mates over, it's hard to be patient, boys. It's very hard for them to be patient when you're going out to the pub every weekend. So try and make it as easy as possible, you know what I mean?
100%.
Well, bro, to elaborate on that, to extend on that, I actually believe that women want to receive love from men, and men want to receive respect from women.
Ooh,
that's what I think.
Very true. Yeah.
I feel like if those two work hand in hand, then that's a healthy relationship.
Yeah, 100%.
Bro.
Yeah, the only way a relationship is ever gonna work is if the woman is calm, and the woman.
We gonna get in trouble for
you know what I mean?
Don't scream.
Hey.
Don't scream at us.
If in previous relationships I've had, right, like, if the woman was the aggressor, I used to be the aggressor, but if the woman was the aggressor, two would clash. Constant clash. Anytime I'd be angry, she would become angry. Anytime I'd swear, she'd swear. You know, but if you date a woman who's calm, and if you swear, she asks you, instead of arguing back with you, she gives you time. Or what's wrong? You know, she works with you. You need someone who's calm.
Yeah, and also being the alpha male of the relationship. Obviously, you're going to your daily job. You're doing 10, 12 hours a day. The last thing you want to do is come back home and listen to someone screaming at you or being the aggressor.
Bro.
This
100%.
is why it's so important, bro.
There's a lot of those aggressors out there these days. I see them online everywhere, bro.
But, bro, you know, like shows like Married at First Sight and these dating shows, Pop the Balloon and that. It doesn't help the case.
Does not help, bro.
It doesn't help the case of relationships. Now young girls are watching these reality TV shows and Pop the Balloon and fucking treating men like shit. Vice versa, men are treating women like shit because of these stupid shows they're putting in front of our faces, and that's why they call it entertainment. You know why? And to give them entertainment, some breads and some crumbs, while they'll be fooled for the rest of their lives.
I think these guys just been getting consumed with too much entertainment and just need a check of reality every now and then, bro.
But it's like I don't want to say it, but it's the same. It's the same as NRL for us, cuz.
Oh, yeah.
That's entertainment. That's brainwashing us, cuz. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, cuz.
It is.
NRL and gambling, bro.
Yes, cuz. I love it.
I'll be honest.
I love that one.
I'll be honest. I think watching footy was a massive part of my reality. Like it just felt like, as someone from Western Sydney, you had to be a part of a team. For some reason, you just had to be a part of a team. But then that kind of Like, fair enough to all the boys that can handle it and just have a couple of beers and just, they don't carry on about it. Yeah, fair enough. But for me, I think, like, for any boy from Western Sydney, we're very passionate about anything we do.
100%.
Very passionate. We can't half-heart anything. We're
exactly
all
right.
in everything. So, it can't, but then it drags in other negative things like drinking, benders, and then the pub, then gambling. So for me, this year, I actually haven't watched one game. I haven't watched one game. And like, and I'm glad too, because my team's not doing too well. From what I've heard.
Hey, that's good, man. I know when
true,
this
though,
guy's
bro.
watching
Yeah,
a
yeah.
footy game, bro.
It's true what you said though. It goes hand in hand. It's entertainment. It's to keep us at bay.
Yeah.
It's to keep everyone at bay. As long as we got football, gambling, and that, bro. If they gave it, bro, honestly, let's be real, bro. If they gave a fuck about people gambling, why are they advertising it everywhere?
Yeah.
And also, why are they advertising KFC and McDonald's on an NRL football field when it's positive health and being fit?
Doesn't make sense.
It's because
bro.
it's money. Money's root of all evil. It's at the top of it, bro. It's fucking. We could go on for days, guys. But
Don't you get KFC? I like KFC.
yeah, no, I love it too. But
I like the
it's
Zinger
truth.
boxes.
It's the truth, bro. It's the
But
word.
it's true. It's true.
Hey, speaking of content creation, Hood Diaries.
Hood Diaries.
I
Yeah,
seen that
Hood
you
Diaries,
came out with Hood Diaries, man. That shit was popping off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how'd you come to that? Like, what inspired
Well,
you to start?
spending inspired me. So I've done and I always say that. I always keep it real, bro. Spending inspired me. Definitely, it definitely. You know, a lot of people like they will get. At the end of the day, we're all getting inspiration of someone.
Yeah.
No one's fault is an original fault.
Nah.
Bro, it's all recycled.
Everything has already been thought of.
Yeah.
You're just doing it a different way.
Add your own 1% on it.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
know, like I was. You know, I've seen Spending a few times. I went and done the Mount Druitt into the hood with him, and he just gave me inspiration from the jump, and I just knew like he stopped doing it and started going overseas and that, and I'm like, fucking, I'm gonna start doing all the places he missed out on, and then it kind of just started to take a bit of a turn and do extremely well. But then I don't know, I grew a different perspective overnight, and I stopped doing it because like I didn't really like the fact that I was going into like housing commission neighbourhoods and just putting the camera in front of people's faces.
Yeah, wow,
Yeah,
respect for that.
yeah,
bro.
I didn't like it.
never even saw it from that perspective.
Bro, I cancelled out a lot of money for that, bro. A lot of money for that, bro. Like just because I didn't want to do that. Because bro, when I was doing those vlogs and I was doing 50K within 24 hours. Anyone who knows YouTube numbers knows that's big cash.
That
bro.
is dosh.
That is dosh. Consistently though, that consistently.
Yeah.
And I cancelled it. And my missus is my witness. I didn't want to do it no more because of that simple factor. Because I was going to like houses, and then like seeing just kids with no clothes on and just their parents drunk, and it just reminded me. Looking at kids, bro.
And only you could make that type of decision, bro. Because you grew up on those principles. So you're like, bro, well, I'm making a circus out of these
what
people.
am I doing?
Like
little kids and like running around the glass and the sharps and graffiti and like in their living room on like where they rest their head at night is graffiti, spray paint, holes in the walls, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, bro, I can't do this. What man am I if I do that for a bit of fucking like I'm selling my
Respect
soul
for that, lad.
you know, selling my soul to do that.
Massive respect for that, man.
Yeah, so yeah,
I can tell your heart is fully solidified with morals.
100%.
morals
bro,
and principles,
100%.
you know.
It's just not right, bro. A lot of content creators, bro, in Australia are fucking bad for it, bro.
Yeah.
Bad for it. They lying and scammers, bro. Like I could go on to death. I don't need to. It's
Yeah.
You see for what it is, bro. A lot of boys are pulling the wool over a lot of people's eyes, bro. The way who they are as a person and what they do. It's sad.
Is there any regrets about? It can even be Hood Diaries.
Yeah.
Was there any regret stopping it, or even prison? Any regrets in prison?
Bro, fucking any regrets in prison? Going to prison.
Or even like in life in general. What's like the biggest regret you reckon?
I wish I didn't give a fuck sooner. I wish I didn't care.
Wow.
I wish I didn't care what people thought about me back then, because I'd be so much further. Because in the grand scheme of things, we're just specks of dust.
Yeah.
And in 115 years, 120 years from now, none of us are going to be here.
Yeah.
Not even the producers right now.
Nah.
No one's going to be here.
Probably just the microphones.
And
if that.
And you know, like some of the biggest names on this earth right now, bro. Like I'm talking like the Michael Jordan names and that. In 500 years, they'll be erased from history. No one even know who the fuck they are. You know, or maybe someone less than Michael Jordan. You get what I'm saying, though, bro? Like,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like we don't matter. We don't matter.
You know what? I think I was gonna say something else because asking that question, I thought of the most thing I regret, and I thought I locked in my answer. Then when you said that, I'm like, nah, That's my number one.
Yeah,
Second will be the reply.
Yeah.
Or my verse at least. My verse at least.
Don't even speak about it. It's like, bro, I look back at my music, bro, and I fucking cringe.
Oh, gee, hey, do you ever?
Hey, so what do you say?
Be honest. Do someone does that like when you're around your boys, like when you were doing music? Do they play your music when you go and drink up with them and that?
It's awkward.
Do you cringe?
Yeah.
You're
bro,
like, brother, turn that shit off.
Bro, all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I'd leave the room. Bro. I'll leave the room, bro. Like it's fucking cringe, cuz. Or they'll show someone.
Yeah.
Like, wait, this is him.
Bruh.
And you're just sitting there like.
Oh, bro, Jay, I remember one time in Canala, me and my missus were lining up to get what was it, a Sai or something. And this shop, I think the owner was a massive fan. He started playing Still Here by 21 Dick, pumped it in his shop. And I'm just standing there, I'm just sweating.
Yeah,
bro,
how bad is it? It's like hearing your voice on a phone.
And then I turn around to look at him and he's like this. I'm like, yeah, I want to throw my shit at his head, bro.
I know what you're saying, bro. I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's just, I wish I didn't give a fuck sooner, bro. Like, about people's opinions.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, anyone who's ever had an opinion that I've given a fuck about at some point, don't even matter anymore. Not even in my life.
And I think you're gonna get judged regardless of what.
Bro,
you
it doesn't
do.
matter, cuz.
So make your money, bro. Make your dosh. And I think one of the biggest thing that changed, that gave me that same mindset that you have, was arguably. Well, in my case, I think he is the most famous and important person that ever walked the earth was judged all the way up until his death.
Yeah, 100%.
Jesus Christ. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about.
100%.
And so if you ever feel like you're getting judged and you're scared to do this, you're scared to do that, brother, the most important person that ever walked the face of the earth was judged all the way up to his death.
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100% what you just said. I agree with everything,
more
bro.
than that, bro. He was spat on, beaten. You can't face any more embarrassment and shame and than what they did to him. You know what I mean? So for you to sit here, it's an ego thing. Exactly what you said before. Sometimes we try to put on big shoes that we don't fit in, and we try to put on this persona. And I know that because I was there as well. I had a very big ego when I was younger, and then the faster you become, you come to your reality, and you just. You do your job as a father or as a husband, and you learn to help those around you, the better your life will be, and you'll prosper a much more positive life.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. The Australian community are weird. Like, they just hate, like, it's full of haters in a sense, you know? What is it? What's the term? Tall poppy syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah. Tall poppy syndrome. And they go hard with it too.
I don't know what it is, bro. Like, it's, people in Australia just don't like seeing people do well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's just the social media. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would say it's a mix of everything, especially like living in Sydney.
Like, do you get hate from your area?
Oh,
like, yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the same as me. But it's always been weird with me, bro. Yeah. And this is another reason why I've never really engaged in the political fucking drama, the postcode drama. Yeah, it's because I've always gotten love from boys from different codes, from different areas.
Yo.
Over my own area, you know. And it's like it's odd, bro. It's odd. Is that because you come from the same place as certain people and they can't stand that you're doing something else with your time?
Maybe
that's better. It's like, I went to school with him. Like, I had a bloke comment on one of my posts yesterday. He goes, he said something. He goes, my mates went to school with you. Ha ha ha. What? Fucking 15, 20 years ago we went to school with you. Fucking congrats, cuz.
Bro,
like, you know?
Still living in the past, bro.
Like, bro, like what you think I'm the same person from when I was in year 6, you mad cunt? You know what I mean? Like,
they just want to want to like pin something on you so they feel better about themselves.
100%. It's like I don't buy back no more though. Like I let them go because that's what they want. Because some of these people, bro, live very, very, very ordinary lives. They do zero to fuck all of their lives. So getting a reply from one of you or me or whoever else is watching this that's doing content
is all they want.
It's like $1 million. Like, fucking
it's like
reply.
a fix for them.
Screenshot, screenshot. Put it on my story. Look, I got his attention.
Yeah.
Gooses, bro.
No, true. Very, very true. A lot of some and like because the reason why we used to never look through comments, but as people who are we're trying to bring a real podcast show to everyone, and like we really want to engage with our supporters. So we have agreed to kind of go through some comments and like try to reply, interact with our fans. But man, sometimes, brother, I'm telling you,
I know.
Fucking times, I just want to brother, why are we doing this shit for these donkeys, bro?
Yeah, it drives you mad.
It drives me mad.
I get what you're saying.
And there's a lot of and behind the fake accounts as well, I realised they do love it when you bite back, eh?
Yeah.
They love it, bro.
Yeah, 100%. More than likely, bro, it's someone you know.
Oh, yeah.
More than that's the case with me.
bro.
It's like some stuff I've seen throughout the years or comments or from fake accounts. It's like, how do you know that?
Yeah.
Like, wait. What are you saying that for?
It's a bit too
But,
detailed.
but there was a fake, there'll be a fake comment and they'll be like, oh, stick to the scaffold. You'll be
Yeah,
like,
bro.
This is one of the boys.
Yeah.
Fucking cunt.
Bro, and I used to, bro, how do you fucking know that information? You can't, bro. But nah, nothing. That's why it's better to be an open book. That's why I'm an open book now, bro. Like if I've done something or someone says something to me and I did it, bro, I'll put my hand up straight.
Yeah.
That's the person I am now. I don't hide. I don't fake shit. I don't do nothing, cuz.
You know what though? In contrast to this, I think there's another important thing to talk about. I've learned to deal with the fact that your friends aren't your fans and your fans aren't your friends. So don't expect and I'm guilty of this. Every time you see your mates, don't expect them to be all over you, you're doing this and that. Be the same person that you always were before the music started, before
100%.
this and that.
100%.
And then your fans aren't your friends. And I think you already know this. Some people that they adore my music. They're not necessarily sometimes people that especially when they're running up to you. And have you ever had someone run up and ask for a photo, in the mall or somewhere?
Fuck yeah,
You'd feel like it's rude to say no, but sometimes it's the way that it happens. And we're Western Sydney boys, you know. We're not used to that kind of those type of interactions.
Yeah, 100%.
People just running up to you like that.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, 100%. Yeah, it's like you don't want to tell them no either.
You don't want to tell them no, because then it ruins your
image, who you're trying to be. But I try to be open about it. Anytime someone comes up to me or asks for a photo, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, give them a photo, even if I'm out. Because bro, sometimes I'll be out just with my missus, bro, movies, dinner, and bro, people come up ask for photos and that. And it's sometimes the fucking bro, even shopping centers, guys, in the middle of the aisles, bro. In Woolies, last week I was in Woolworths, bro, and I was just kicking there getting chocolates and that, bro.
Yeah.
And then someone's come up and got a photo of me, bro, and it's in front of people trying to shop, cuz. It's what can you do, bro?
Well, what do you do, but man,
I'm grateful for it regardless. You know what? I'm grateful for it because who knows? We could be just ghost.
Yeah, it's a platform that we can spread positivity. So 100%. I guess that's a good way to see it.
Bro, every time someone comes up and says they like what I'm doing, bro, it reminds me that okay, I am actually on a good track.
Yeah.
But imagine if no one come up to you, guys.
Yeah.
Imagine if no one said like to you. Then you'd be doing something wrong there.
Hey man, big ups to you, man. After coming this whole way and just seeing your transformation, is there anything that you would ever change about your past life?
Nah, zero.
Yeah,
zero. Maybe if I could, probably stay away from the gangs a bit and just hanging out, get facts, the real talk, bro. If I could stay away from start again, but just start my journey quicker and better, But stay away from certain activities, especially if you're if you just. You're on the fence about life, bro. You kind of want to be a cream, you kind of want to make money, but at the same time too, you don't want to fucking go to jail and you want to stay home and see your mates and that. And that's what I try to tell these young boys too. It's okay to, bro, rep your code and be a gangster or whatever you want to do, but just be prepared for the repercussions.
Yeah,
be prepared because a lot of these boys forget that part.
Yeah,
you always hear boys saying, "Oh, we got him." But what about when they got you? What about when they got you? You know what I mean? And that's what I say to these boys, bro. Bro, be prepared because you might have 30 boys by your side on the outside.
When you're inside,
when you're in cuffs, you're inside and you go into a wing and you go into the lion's den, and then there's 6 boys up on the railing that you've been talking shit about. Because you can't do a U-turn. You can't fucking backdoor it, bro. You're going in there, and if you're lucky, 6 of them might jump you and might get a few scratches on you, or you might get worse. A lot worse.
There you go, bro. Giving you the ropes. Giving you the fucking ropes, lads.
Hoodrich Hefner, man. Giving you the ropes.
That's Hoodrich Hefner. Man, shout out to the brother coming all the way down from his area. And, even Offset, I'm sure we're going to have a really good friendship from this day moving forward. 100%. I love people 100%. With this type of mindset, spreading positivity, but also people that go against the grain, people that go against what we've been taught, and people that just want to challenge our way of thinking, changing the narrative. I think it's important to have these type of conversations.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Anything, like any advice you would give out to any youngins? If there's 100 youngins out there and maybe one of them is ready to listen and take this on, what do you say to this bloke?
Yeah, with advice, like, fuck, so the brains.
The brain's spazzing out.
Bro, my biggest advice to someone is just do what you want to do, you know? Don't worry about anyone else. Focus on what you want to do, you know? Like, bro, like, there's so many boys that are older than us right now that wish they could go back. That wish they could start again. Go back to high school and actually fucking put their head down, bro. Your mate, like, realistically, bro, your mates don't give a fuck about you, bro.
No.
Your mates don't care. Like, I know they sit there and it's, I love you, bro. I love you, cuz. Yeah, I love you. I miss you, bro. But they really don't, cuz. No. And what I take away from it is that, like, what about all the famous people, like Hollywood actors that have died recently? Mm-hmm. Can you remember any names?
Yeah,
no one gives a fuck, bro. And they were the biggest names in the world.
It will probably come up as a real, but that's it, and you'll forget it.
All Aussie creators that have, you know, passed away in the last 5 years, you know, and you look at it like no one speaks about them, bro. Anymore. And I'm not being rude, but it's the truth.
It's truth.
2 weeks. If we were to pass now, 2 weeks from now, bro, the only people that care about you is your mum, your family, your brothers, sisters. Yeah. No one gives a, your mates don't give a fuck, bro. You'd be lucky to visit your grave, bro.
Yeah.
Real talk. It sucks to hear it, but sometimes pain is the biggest lesson.
Yeah.
Straight up, bro.
That's the biggest.
That's the work, bro. That's the work. And being obviously us being from the inner west, you being from Mount Druitt, we are like, I feel like yes, I'm from this area, and as a form of representation, yes, this is where I'm from. Yeah. People look at my face, I've already had this persona, I can't run away from it. I am 21 district, I am from the inner west. But as far as area codes, you're not paying the area codes bills, and the area codes definitely ain't gonna pay your bills, brother.
Yeah.
So start building your own foundation. Look after your family, lad.
What it is too, bro, a lot of these young boys, right, who rep these area codes right now, don't even know why they're beefing. They think it's an area code. You know, but if you were to interview, like, just speak to one of these youngins that are beefing, ask him, why are you fighting him? Oh, because he lives 5 kilometers in a different direction. Yeah. It makes no sense, bro. If they knew the truth about the area code stuff and the older boys, like the older rappers and that, who are area code beef, no one gives a fuck. Straight out, bro. All these older boys that you think are involved in these area codes don't care. Yeah. They don't care. It's not that deep to them. They want to make money. And at the end of the day, if anyone who likes money and business knows that fights ruin business, ruins money. Yeah. Drama, beef, fucks money
They're not
over.
on the same page.
Yeah.
Money and fights and money and beef.
Yeah, 100%. Like, bro, no one cares about it, cuz. But what's taken over is the music beef. Yeah, it's not postcode beef anymore. It's
more
music.
It's
music now.
Social media beef.
And it's become personal. And like, how can you consider it postcode beef anymore when it's personal? Because people's lives have been taken. Yeah. Mums and dads' houses have been ran through. Cars have been bombed.
It does get a bit sticky then when it hits you personal.
Now it's going from postcode to you would accept it's now personal. Because if someone attacks my family, that's not a postcode beef. Nah. That's personal. Man.
I guess that falls into the umbrella of, I was talking about to one of the other boys about this. He asked me, "Oh, do you still beef?" Let me just make this clear. Beef and haters are two separate things. To have beef, you need 2 or more parties to be involved, because that's how a beef works. It's a rivalry. It's 2 sides that are constantly back and forth. That's what a beef is. As far as today, I don't have beef with anyone because I don't have time for it. I might have people that hate me. I don't care. I might have people that hate me. But like as the brother said, when it comes to personal, oh yeah, bro, I'm standing my ground all day. All day of the week. Every day of the week I am. But as far as a beef and money, they do not collide on the same page at all. They don't.
100%. Yeah, it's personal for a lot of boys now. It's not about postcodes. No. It's long past that. When 15, 20 years ago, it was about a postcode. It was about, bros, I always looked at postcode drama as a Pacific Islander war. Bro, when I was growing up, it started off as Islanders because, bro, I'm pretty sure it was when, bro, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but Islanders were coming over from New Zealand and Tonga and Samoa. They'll come in the early 2000s. And they'll fighting each other. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, the Tongan and Samoa.
Was there a big drama between? That's what I'm talking about. It's a huge drama, you know. And I always viewed it as Pacific Islanders. And then like these days, there's Asians involved, there's Aussies involved, there's Indians involved, everyone's involved, bro. It's a cocktail now.
It's cocktail now. And me formerly being from Granville, A lot of people say, look at this idiot, he doesn't even know Granville on the map isn't part of the Inner West. I know that. I know that Granville isn't part of the Inner West. On the map, Parramatta all the way to Penrith is actually part of the Greater West because it's from the Parramatta Road all the way to the Greater West Highway. I'll give you guys a bit of lesson on how the Inner West came to be what it is. Maryland's, Granville, Guildford. From what I know, I could be wrong. Someone correct me, but like, so back in the days, what's known as UTB. Have you ever heard of that?
UTB,
You know, Tongan brothers. So there were boys from, I think it was Griffith, or it was, I think from Griffith, they migrated down to Homebush, Burwood area, which is the Inner West suburbs. That's the Inner West suburbs. Burwood, so that's where everything kind of began. Then over the years, the boys from Burwood that were starting that kind of, the Tongan boys there, they kind of migrated out towards Granville, Maryland, Auburn, but then they bring that same mentality. So that's why the Inner West went from Burwood to Homebush, then it started spreading out towards Granville, Parramatta, Maryland, Auburn.
Yeah, I get what you're saying,
That's what I've been taught anyway from my older cousins and that.
So Granville's not in the West?
Granville's not, it's actually not in the West on the map. So when you look at the map, it's the Inner West suburbs is actually Strathfield, Burwood, Homebush, these areas. It's kind of the inner city. That's why it's called Inner West, because it's on the inside. Whereas Parramatta and all the areas that are closer to Granville are more closer to the west side of Sydney. So this is the west side of Sydney. But that's how the Inner West began.
Yeah, well there you go. I didn't even know that either. Imagine that, just ripping something you don't know.
I'm ready to get fired up. Look at this eat-ass, bro. That's how it happened. Look, brother, that's what I know. I'm just.
Yeah, you gotta accept that, bro. People are always gonna say stuff, bro. Like people say shit about what I'm saying. It's just part of the game, bro. You know, people talk a lot.
Hey, is there any plans set for your goals for the future? Are you making music? Are you gonna be creating more content?
Give us a sneak peek later on what's coming.
Well, I don't make music anymore. I don't agree with my message anymore, or the person I used to be. It just doesn't match who I am now, so I can't make lyrics up anymore. Or I can't rap because just doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't fit who I am anymore. So music's definitely not ever coming back, and it's sad too because I built most of it off music. But bro, a lot of people who follow me now don't even know I'm a rapper. They just see my content and that. But the goal for now is just content creating, bro. Just talking to the camera and like, mark my words. Bro, I'm gonna be one of the biggest in this country, cuz trust me, man. Like without a doubt as well, bro. I just gotta keep knocking on the door, and if you have that vision, bro. I've been saying it, cuz. I've been saying it for 5 years straight.
It's good, man. It's good that willpower. I see it.
I believe you. 100%. Hey, we'll be behind you every step of the way.
Yeah, you gotta speak it into existence, bro.
100%.
I believe that 100%, bro.
Even when people, bro, when I first started music and that, I was saying it then, bro. I go, bro, I'm gonna be big one day, bro. And everyone just laughed, whatever, cuz. And bro, the same ones who laugh, I've overlapped them now.
Yeah.
You know, I could name.
Hate to see it. They hate to see it.
I could name 5 names off the bat right now, cuz.
Wait, 5 is
just
a literal number.
Tell us after the show.
You know what I mean? Like, guys, like it's I don't know, bro.
Good on you, brother.
Good on you, man. Hey, well there you go, guys. That's Hoodrich Hefner giving you the ropes. Hopefully, you learn a thing or two from this. Man, I think that's it. We've got to wrap it up and get out of here.
Nah, big love and appreciation for having me on.
Yeah, bro. We're glad to have you, man. This is such a big thing, bro. We're glad to have you on Bros and Cons. Show your authentic self before you blow up and become big, bro. Yeah, you heard it first here.
And just lastly, bro, I feel like you're on this time right now, the chapter you boys are in. I feel like you can really turn the area code shit. I feel like slowly. But surely one day I feel like the area code drama can be put to bed. But it starts with the Pacific Islander boys. And don't worry about the Aussies. Don't worry about the Asians. Don't worry about them because it doesn't matter. It starts with yous.
That's it.
That straight out. As a white participant in the background. What
at this guy now.
What the hell?
Nah, bro. You know what? I'm glad that we're having these type of conversations because as boys that are looking more towards the positivity of our community, obviously that's the end goal, brother. That's the end goal. We want to raise the next generation to know what they're doing. So
100%.
Man, we're trying to unite the community. Once again, bro, if it takes 20 or 30 podcast sessions to get there, so be it.
So be it, brother.
Bro, just start running start hitting people up.
Yeah.
Extending yourself to people, bro.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the ego, the pride. If they don't reply, they don't reply.
100.
Don't worry about it. You know what I mean?
That's it. There you go, guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Hey, don't need cues, yeah. She still wanna hang with the crew, yeah. When the cool comes, we move.